Hey there, this video, I'm going to go over the current best and easiest Artifice armor farm that is really quick at only like 2 to 3 minutes per run. And before we learn about that and how to do it, I want to quickly mention my last video. It was a solo Artifice armor farm and equal to the farm I'm going to show you today. But when I uploaded it, it was patched the same day. Stuff like that happens, which sucks. I'm really sorry. So I figured this video is going to show you a way that's not going to get patched. It's not a cheese, and it will actually be here whenever you want to do it. You don't have to wait for a weekly rotator, you don't have to wait for anything, because it is Spire the Watcher. That being said, if you are watching this video in Season 21 or beyond, this won't be available all the time, because the current newest dungeon will be the pinnacle. Anyways, so let's get into the farm. Like I said, it's Spire the Watcher. Of course, you gotta be on Master, because we're here for Artifice armor, and that juicy +3 to any stat we want, allowing us to really perfect our builds and squeeze out everything we can from our armor. So, as for what encounter we're going to be doing, it is the first looted encounter. But before we start the encounter and getting our Artifice armor, we need to make sure that we have a checkpoint to farm it. A lot of you probably already know how to share checkpoints, but I'm just going to go over it real quick. Either by joining your fire team or getting to this encounter on a character, you want to be on any character besides the one you want to farm Artifice armor on. You will then wipe. The encounter is automatically started for this one. You'll wipe, and then you'll return to orbit. And as you can see, you will have a checkpoint. And this is how this whole thing is going to work. When you have that checkpoint, you're going to have your fire team, the people that are farming with you, join up. Then you're going to fly into the dungeon on Master, of course. And while you're flying in, as you'll see in the footage, you can change character. And now, you'll want to change character to the one that you want to farm on. In the footage, this is my Warlock. So once I've switched to my Warlock, I will then wait for my friend to load in, because you can't join while they're flying, and I will join them. At this point, you're good. You've got the checkpoint on your other character, so that means once you run the farm, you just switch character and repeat the process I just said. So with how to get the farm started out of the way, let's talk about the actual farm itself. It is the Ascend the Spire encounter, which for those of you that have done Spire the Watcher, it's super easy. It's really just connect the dots. And it's also pretty easy while you're solo if you're going that route of getting here. But with 2 or 3 people, this encounter is absolutely free. You can see in the gameplay, it goes by super fast. You only have to kill 1 champion to get this whole thing started, because as you shoot the little nodes, you get your timer refreshed. As for killing that champion, I use a chill clip weapon, but it's just overload. It's easy too. There are surges on the dungeon, so if you use one of those, in this case it was a void surge, and I used a void LMG, it shreds through anything you do need to kill, albeit you only actually need to kill 1 thing. The one other thing I'd recommend is running a healing nade or some way to heal yourself, maybe invis if you're a hunter, because you can get in some spots where enemies shoot you, but with one of those abilities, you're chilling. But what you're seeing is the whole encounter. You just choose one of the lines, you have your partner do the other one, and if you have a third person, you just tell them to sit there and look pretty. Or, if you have 3 people, and you're the guy with the checkpoint, you can tell them to get the encounter started while you're flying in, and they can do it for you. So, I'll keep the encounter footage on in the background, but let's talk about what you're actually going to get from this farm. So for this encounter specifically, it drops the arms, legs, and helmet, as well as, unfortunately, the 7th Seraph Carbine and the long arm scout rifle, which means you're more likely to get armor, but you can get weapons. So while you're farming, you might get a couple unlucky runs where you get the weapons, but more often than not, you're going to get the armor, so it's really not bad, especially since it is Artifice armor that you're getting. Makes it worth it, in my opinion. Now let's talk about the actual armor you're getting. The stats are pretty varied, meaning that you can get a wide range of stats. My lowest I got was actually a 59 roll, and the highest I got, I think, was a 66. So this isn't like the Pit of Heresy farm, where you're guaranteed that 65 plus every single time you do it, but the armor pieces you're getting from here are Artifice, meaning you can add that +3, making the wider range of stats a worthy trade-off. It's pretty good, and when I masterwork it and add that +3, this will have spots in my armor loadouts. But especially for people that need to get their first good Artifice armor piece, this is an absolutely incredible way to get it. And since it only takes a couple minutes for a full run, you can just put on a podcast, talk to your friends while you're doing it, and just grind out whatever you need. If you do get a bad roll, just run it back. Easy. And that's kind of all I really need to say about the farm. It's incredible, and definitely the best way to get Artifice armor right now. There are other methods, but none are as easy as this or as quick. And for anybody interested in seeing a full run, including the character swaps and when people join and when you leave, the ending of this video will be that, just like I did in my Pit of Heresy video. If you're sitting here and you're still listening to me spew, thank you so much. The people like you that sit here and I hope at least enjoy me a little bit really make my day. If you'd like to support me and support this channel, comment down below, just Spire, because that's what we're going to farm. Also, while you're down there, a subscription would be super nice if you haven't done it already, because I would love to see you again. But that's about it. I hope to see you around.
An old acquaintance among the hidden tells me that a Seraph complex recently powered on for the first time since the collapse. Shortly thereafter, Vex incursions were reported. And a flag-
down.